Hello, amigos, man. I hope you got your pen, you got your pencil, man. Let's fucking learn, you feel me? And today, man, we got 9 financial moves you will always regret, you feel me? So let's check it out and see what we got and hope we can make better financial decisions, man. Let's go.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike DeSemple. Welcome to episode 87 of the Ask the Advisor show. Ask the Advisor is brought to you by Heritage Financial Advisory Group. And this week we're going to discuss 9 financial moves that you will always regret. You know, we all make mistakes with our money, particularly when we're young. And most times we can come out the other side unscathed. But there are a couple financial moves that will stay with you forever and you will truly always regret. Now, nobody's perfect, but if you don't make these mistakes, you should be in pretty good shape on the other side. So number one would be failing to invest when you're young. You know, we talk about this all the time. Time is the greatest commodity that you have when it comes to investing, and it allows you to participate in your money compounding in the markets. The longer you wait to get involved with investing, the less ability that you have to see your money compound, and you may have to contribute at a much faster rate to hit your financial goals. So get started as soon as you can. There's no perfect day to get started. It's better to start small than not start at all. Number 2 would be buying a house that you can't afford. You know, there's many reasons why the stock market and the economy crashed in 2007 and 2008, but a big reason was the subprime mortgage crisis. This was a lot of people buying homes that they couldn't afford with varying loan terms, and as interest rates went up, so did their monthly payments, and many people were unable to pay for their mortgages, which caused the housing collapse. You know, banks these days try to avoid lending to anyone who would have to pay more than 28% of their net income each month towards a mortgage. And they're also looking for an overall debt-to-income ratio of around 43%. So basically, if you find that you may be exceeding these limits, you know, you're likely stretching yourself a little too far and buying something that you can't afford. And we don't want to see anybody be house poor where all your money goes to your home and the expenditures associated with it. So make sure you right-size your home, you buy the right home at the right price point for you. Number 3 would be racking up credit card debt. You know, all debt really stinks, but we think credit card debt is probably the worst debt that's out there. There's high interest rates attached to it. You know, just as an example, an 11% credit card is considered a low-rate credit card, right? So think about that for a second. That's a very high interest rate to pay, and high debt hurts your credit score, and a bad credit score makes it very difficult to get loans and other forms of lending, which is kind of like this debt spiral that people get themselves into. Yeah. So make sure you don't rack up that credit card debt. Number 4 would be choosing a college based on price. You know, there's an assumption by some parents and students that the most expensive universities are the best universities. And, you know, it can be said that a lot of the more Ivy League schools and the higher accredited universities do come with some very high price tags, but price is not the only determining factor. Make sure you're getting some value for your money as well. Number 5, terrible financial move would be co-signing a loan with an untrustworthy person. You know, at one point or another, you're likely going to be approached by a friend or a family member that needs you to co-sign, or they want you to co-sign a loan. That's because they're unable to qualify on their own. Generally speaking, you should always say no to these requests. Very rarely do they work out the way that you want them to. Yeah. Because number 1, it could hurt your credit score, or number 2, it could damage the relationship between you and that person if the terms are not abided by. So don't co-sign a loan at all costs. Number 6 would be ignoring your company match in the 401k. We spoke about this a few episodes ago. Make sure you're getting the most out of your 401k. Many employers are willing to match your contributions up to a certain percentage rate. Yet we see many people, they don't put enough of their own money in to achieve the full match from their employer. Now, if you're not sure what that percentage is, have a conversation with your employer. Make sure, if you're not sure how much you should put in, you put in at least enough to get a full match from your employer. Number 7, not buying health insurance. You know, if you're young and you may feel like health insurance is a waste of money, right? You work out, you have no illnesses, you eat right. But, you know, think about someone who gets in a car accident, or they, tear a ligament in a pickup basketball game. No one's invincible. And believe it or not, 62% of all bankruptcies stem from medical expenses. So have health insurance, even if you don't think you need it. It's better to have it and not use it.
Yeah.
Number 8, terrible, regretful move would be defaulting on a loan. You know, you may find yourself in a situation at some point where your debt seems so overwhelming that you decide to stop making payments altogether. You should avoid this temptation at all costs. Continue to make payments, even if they're minimum payments. Because quite simply, if you fail to pay debt, it's going to show up on your credit report as a negative event. It's going to be something that stays with you for quite some time. And even worse, you could be sued, and then there's a whole litany of problems that comes with not paying your debt. So again, if you're in a situation where you can't afford some of the debt payments you have, at least make the minimum payments or make some form of payments so you're showing a willingness to continue to pay.
Yeah.
And the number 9th most regretful move is failing to pay taxes. You may hate the IRS.
Yeah, man, taxes, man. Pay taxes, guys. And these tax guys, man, they're like criminals, you feel me? They will let you enjoy the money for like a year or two, man, and they come with you like, boom, they want that tax, and they know that right now it's probably 100,000+, you feel me? $1 million right there. Come on. So pay your taxes.
We hate the IRS. Everybody hates the IRS, but the agency does not care about your feelings. I hate to break it to you. If you owe taxes, you're expected to pay them. There's penalties for dodging the tax man. You'll be penalized 5% of what you owe each month if your taxes are late. And, again, this is something that puts you into a poor situation. You have a lot of mounting debt. You're not paying it. The interest rates and penalties continue to compound, and the problem gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, paying your tax late usually does not hurt your credit score, but if you pay nothing to the IRS at all, you may be subject to a federal tax lien, which would show up on credit reports and stick with you for quite some time. So these are 9 financial moves that you will regret forever. We want to make sure that nobody out there is making these mistakes. If you wade yourself into these troubled waters, we can help you get out of them. If you know somebody who's in trouble or they need this advice because they're really not sure what to do with their money, please tag them in the comments below. Share the video. We want to make sure investors are well taken care of, because smart money moves will pay you back in the long run. So we thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you back next week.
And that's it right there, man. 9 financial moves you will always regret, man. I hope you enjoyed the video, man. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Oh!